welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Rainbow.
And today we're talking about something like Bluetooth technology.
Fancy.
Yeah. I'm sure that a lot of you guys have used Bluetooth before. Maybe you are using it right now. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Bluetooth is one of those devices that confused me a little bit back when I was studying in Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
I often wondered why people wearing really fancy suits were walking on the street yelling to nobody. And because in Taiwan, everybody just has their phones and or earphones.
Yeah, you're talking on your phone.
You see the earphone, you see the phone. And in Hong Kong, they were just yelling at the street, and I was like, are these people all crazy? So turns out
they had their Bluetooth earpieces, right?
Yeah, and then so I ended up looking for them, and a few guys had nothing. So they were actually crazy.
Woohoo! Okay, well that's interesting because I used to see the same thing in the US, and so yeah, I remember thinking that people were pretty crazy too. But Bluetooth, it's a really useful technology, and so we're going to learn about where did that name come from. So let's go ahead and go to our article today.
Reading. Fun facts. Bluetooth technology has been around for 20 years, and we see its name on many of our devices. Why do we use this name for the short-range wireless radio technology, though? In 1996, industry leaders Intel, Ericsson, and Nokia planned to make this technology standard. They wanted to unite the computer and mobile industries by creating a technology that could join both devices. Jim Kardash from Intel thought of Bluetooth as a name for the project. It was named after King Harald Gormson, who united Denmark and Norway in the year 958. The king was also called Bluetooth because he was famous for having a dead blue tooth. The Bluetooth symbol design also consists of the ancient Norse symbols for King Harald Bluetooth's initials. The name was meant to be temporary until the marketing department could come up with something better. Originally, they wanted to call it PAN, for Personal Area Networking. However, that name had been acquired for some other devices. Time ran out, and they had to make the technology public. It doesn't matter what the other names might have been, as the name Bluetooth caught on fast.
Okay, so like we said, we're talking about where does the name Bluetooth come from. So we're talking about Bluetooth technology has been around for 20 years. Can you believe it's been that long?
Oh.
And we see
it's much newer.
Yeah, it seems newer than that, but it's been around for 20 years. And we see its name on many of our devices. And so device, this word is an interesting one. This is a useful word. It's a noun for small things we use for a particular reason. For example, the most common device you see these days is electronic devices like phones and tablets and computers probably. It could be an electronic device. Or things like tracking devices where it tracks where you are going. Communication devices, devices for helping you to communicate with other people. There's even devices for really specific things like putting on socks.
Like a little machine that helps you?
Kind of. It's just, you put the sock on and you put your foot in the device and then you can put on a sock. I think it's good for elderly people who can't bend down.
I was just going to say, how lazy do you have to be?
No, okay. So devices, except for electronic ones like smartphones, are usually something very specific, like we said, and they're single purpose. However, if you have simple things that are like have multiple uses, we call them tools. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But here's an example for device. This device is made to help people stop snoring at night. My mom is so glad my dad got one.
Oh, it's like they have one of those machines you can pin inside the nose.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, the next sentence of the article says, why do we use this name for the short-range wireless radio technology, though?
That's a mouthful.
Whoa.
Short-range wireless radio technology. But what is wireless, that part?
Wireless. Okay, so if you've heard the suffix L-E-S-S, less, means without something. So without a wire means not needing wires to make a connection or to communicate. So for example, Bluetooth or hands-free they're all wireless devices. Okay, and we've also heard of Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity, something else, but the first part, Y, is short for wireless.
Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. So anyway, going on talking about this radio wireless technology, and it is short range. That means you can only work with Bluetooth for about 3 to 5 meters, I think, before it starts to go out.
Yeah.
Anyway, in 1996, industry leaders Intel, Ericsson, and Nokia planned to make this technology standard. So they were working on this new thing that they wanted to put in all your electronic devices. I think they succeeded.
And we all know those brands because those are like the ones we all grew up with, right? Those phones.
Yes.
I think I had a Nokia and a Sony Ericsson, actually.
Yep, I had a Nokia phone back in the day.
Back in the day. Okay, they wanted to unite the computer and mobile industries by creating a technology that could join both devices, so to bring them together. And we also have the word unite, which also means to bring together, to join together as a group or to combine. So we have words that start with U, that means come together, like union or unity, all coming together. Here are a couple ways we can use the word unite. You can say uniting something and something, uniting device and technology,
right,
something like that, or uniting something against somebody. So for example, the two countries have united against their common enemy to fight them. And then we can also say unite to do something. So we can say we, as a community or society, should unite to fight poverty.
Yeah, down with poverty.
And the last one is to be united by. So something brings them together. So you can say Sarah and Jessica are united by their common interests. So they've been brought together because they like the same things.
So they wanted to unite these industries. So Jim Kardash from Intel thought of Bluetooth as a name for the project. So project is a word here that we would like to talk more about. Okay, so this word project is some kind of work that you plan carefully in order to achieve a goal. So the Bluetooth project, the goal was to unite these two industries. It comes from two words in Latin. Pro means forward and ject means throw, so throw forward. Projects in school, like maybe if you're making a science project or you're doing a group project, that's a common kind of project you can do. Or projects in business. Usually businesses have different projects with different people they're working with. And of course, projects with technology. So Bluetooth was a project to put out this kind of short-range wireless radio in our devices. Every project needs a name, so often called Project something else, like Project Runway, which is a fashion design project, or the Manhattan Project, which was a project to design the first atomic bomb. If you really want to improve something or somebody, and you work very carefully on it, you can call it my project. As a verb, we can say project. So I project something means I predict something. I say this is what will probably happen. It's not 100% guess, but you can probably guess this will happen. There are many other meanings too to project or also project, but that's going to be for another time. So here's a couple of example sentences. One for the noun. We're working on a project in school where we have to become a person from history. And one for the verb, we project that most of our family is going to be home for Christmas this year.
All right, so the next sentence says, it was named after King Harald Gormson, who united Denmark and Norway in the year 1958.
I believe that's 958.
958.
Yeah, 958. So at least 1,000 years before now.
Oh my gosh, that's a long time ago.
It is a long time ago.
So was named after is a verb to mean that. To give someone or something the same name as another thing. So for example, we can say Paul was named after his grandfather. So Paul's grandfather was also named Paul. Or, the couple named all their children after football players.
They must be big football fans.
And you have to have a big family too.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, this King Harold Gormson was also called Bluetooth because he was famous for having a dead blue tooth.
Ew.
Yeah, so one of his
Disgusting.
teeth was actually blue.
Ew.
I've never met anybody with a tooth like that. Have you?
No, never. It sounds fake.
It sounds weird, but it sounds kind of interesting too. So now we see this phrase was famous for. So this means that like A is famous for B. Everyone knows A because B is true about them. So everyone knew King Harold had a blue tooth. So like for example, Twice, the K-pop group, is famous for their fun songs. Guretama is famous for being lazy. Everybody knows Twice because their songs are fun. Everybody knows Guretama because he's lazy. These things
And
are...
he's cute.
Yes, and he's also cute. These things are specific to these people or these other things. So it's something that they're famous because it's particular to them.
Right. Okay, next sentence says the Bluetooth symbol design also consists of the ancient Norse symbols for King Harold's Bluetooth symbol initials.
Initials,
King
yeah.
Harold Bluetooth's initials.
Yeah.
So we can see that, on the phone when you click the Bluetooth sign, it's like that little
I never
Nordic.
thought about that before. I never realized that, but yeah, it does look like Norse letters.
Yeah. It's like very interesting. It's like a vocabulary or something there.
Yeah.
Okay, so consists of means to be formed or made of, especially talking about specified things or people. So for
Right.
example, we can say, today's breakfast consists of cereal, fruit, and orange juice, and bacon, and pancakes.
That's a lot. I'd be very full.
Consists of is made of. Or we can say his wardrobe consists almost entirely of jeans and t-shirts.
That's very simple.
Standard.
Yeah, definitely. So another word we saw here was initials. So like I said, Norse letters are the initials of King Harold Bluetooth. So initials are particular to names from like English or pinyin or using other sound alphabets. Our names have a lot of letters in them. So like if my name is Kat, that's C-A-T. That means my first initial, the initial is my first letter in my name. So my initial is C. Or maybe if I want to go with my full name, it'd be CJ. I'll let you guess what my last name is. Yeah. So the first letters of each of my names, those are my initials. What about you?
Oh, it goes RL.
RL, okay.
All right, so the next sentence says the name was meant to be temporary until the marketing department could come up with something better. So we have the phrase was meant to be. So when you have something that was meant for a purpose or meant to be something, it means it has a particular purpose or intention or function or acts as something. So if I say it was meant to be an apology, but it only made her angry. So someone might have said something that kind of sounds like sorry, but maybe not like sorry. The other person got mad. So it was meant to be a sorry, but then she just got upset. So didn't work out as she planned. Okay.
Okay, so we saw this other word which was saying that Bluetooth was meant to be a temporary name. Temporary is an adjective that means something is supposed to be just for a short time. The opposite of temporary is permanent. So for example, a temporary solution is a solution to a problem that will keep everybody satisfied until you can make a permanent one that can be there forever. Temporary housing, for example, is a house that you live in for a short amount of time until you can get a permanent house, a house that you can live in for the rest of your life, maybe. A temporary tattoo, like Rainbow has, which you'll see when she comes back, is a tattoo that maybe after a few days it will wash off. It's not going to be there forever. Temporary sadness. Some people say sadness is only temporary, or any feeling is only temporary. It will go away after a while. An adverb for temporary is, if we add ILY, we say temporarily. Okay, so here's an example for the adjective. This blonde hair color is only temporary until I can put pink dye over it. or an adverb, buying new things can make people feel temporarily cheerful, but it won't bring long-term happiness. All right, so we're back, and I want to show you Rainbow's tattoo. So this is temporary. It's really beautiful, but it's already fading on her hand, you can see.
Yeah, this is henna from India, so it's drawn with a dye and it's temporary. Typically lasts about 2 weeks, something worth trying, so not too much commitment. Temporary!
Yeah, and it smells nice when it goes on, right?
Yeah, it does, it does. It's plant-based.
Yummy.
Okay, so we have a next phrase, to come up with something. So when someone came up with something, it means they think of something as an idea or plan. So you can come up with a name, an idea, a solution, and this reminds me of one of those cartoons when you come up with an idea, it goes a light bulb, bing, ding. That's called coming up with an idea.
So anyway, back to the article. Originally, they wanted to call it PAN for Personal Area Networking.
That sounds bad. PAN?
PAN, yeah. I mean, it's kind of really easy to remember, but also kind of boring.
Kind of boring.
Yeah. However, that name had been acquired for some other devices, so they couldn't use it anyway. So here we see this word originally. Originally, they wanted to do this. Originally is an adverb that means at first or in the first place or when they first had this idea. Comes from an adjective which is original. So you add ly onto that, you get originally. So something original is the first way or the first version of that thing. So PAN was the first name they wanted to try. So originally, they wanted this. Here's another example. Mark lives in Taiwan now, but he's originally from Malaysia. So it means he lived in Malaysia, he probably grew up in Malaysia, now he lives in Taiwan.
Okay, and we have another word, to acquire. So in the sentence, we're saying that PAN was already acquired by someone else, so they had to use a new name. Acquired means to come into possession or ownership of, means to get something, to have something. So when a name has been acquired, it just means that it's already being used by someone else. Now, acquired can also mean gained by or as a result of experience. For example, we can acquire wealth. So maybe by, working really hard or investing, or you can acquire knowledge by studying a lot and getting degrees.
Yeah, so acquire is kind of like a fancy way to say get.
Yep.
All right. Well, time ran out and they had to make the technology public. So they still have this supposedly temporary name, Bluetooth, but they're out of time. So this word ran out means they used it until they didn't have any more. So we say like time ran out. I don't have any more time. Often we say it with of, so run out of something. Like you can run out of time, like they did. You can run out of money, which means you don't have any more money. Run out of food, that's really bad. You should go to the grocery store. Or like your phone, it runs out of batteries if you don't charge it.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what the other names might have been, as the name Bluetooth caught on fast. And we can imagine why, because it's such a weird name, so everybody would remember it. And it makes no sense, which means people remember it even more, except that it's really his Bluetooth. So it doesn't matter what means it wasn't important at all. So we can also see this grammar pattern in the sentence. In the sentence, we can see that the modal verb is used to express present feelings about a past decision or other action. And here are some differences between these. For example, you can say might have, Something that might have happened if it wasn't for other events would be something that could possibly happen, but something else happened, so it didn't happen anymore. And in the same line, we also have could have, means it could possibly happen in the past, but it did not happen. For example, she could have gone to any college she wanted to. And finally, we have one more that's should have. And should means you need to do something, but you did not do it. So something didn't happen, but we wish had happened. And we can say, I'm sorry that I'm late for work. I should have woken earlier. So all those could have, would have, should have are many ways to say things that we wished had happened but didn't happen, unfortunately.
Right. So yeah, we have those would have, could have, should have. Those are all subjunctive forms, and that means that these things Maybe they might have happened in another way, but they didn't happen. It's not a real situation.
It's all in imagination.
That's right. We're going to be right back with you for You Chat.
For You Chat.
Okay, so here we are with our For You Chat question for day 1. The question is, do you use Bluetooth? What is good and bad about Bluetooth technology? So what do you think?
All right, so Bluetooth is actually something that sounds kind of outdated to me, but I do use it in my daily life. So something that I use to prepare for my classes is the iPad, and the iPad connects to the iPad Pencil via Bluetooth. So you can plug it in and then it turns on, and then when you unplug it, it's connected and then you can write. Sometimes it gets stuck a little bit, which tends to be the problem with Bluetooth technology.
That would drive me crazy.
It's not always well connected, and probably the only other one I use is Bluetooth speaker. So I connect it with my phone, turn on the Bluetooth, and it goes bing bing, and then it starts. What about you, Kat?
Yeah, I do the same thing where I have a little speaker that I carry around with me, and it just lets me play phone music or whatever else at a higher volume. But also I have a pair of Bluetooth headphones.
Oh,
so they're
cool.
wireless. Yeah, they're wireless,
Convenient.
and that means that I'm not tied to any particular thing. As long as I'm close to my phone or whatever I'm hooked up to, because my computer also has Bluetooth, then I can use my headphones and I can just listen to music and move around very freely.
So it can be super convenient.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Yeah. So I guess you guys probably also use Bluetooth in your daily life. So talk about those ways in which, you know, this technology is kind of helpful for you. Or maybe you can even think of some other ones that are sort of starting to replace it, because there are those kinds of things. So we're going to see you for day 2, and we're going to talk about a whole different brand tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Fun facts. Bluetooth technology has been around for 20 years, and we see its name on many of our devices. Why do we use this name for the short-range wireless radio technology, though? In 1996, industry leaders Intel, Ericsson, and Nokia planned to make this technology standard. They wanted to unite the computer and mobile industries by creating a technology that could join both devices. Jim Kardash from Intel thought of Bluetooth as a name for the project. It was named after King Harald Gormson, who united Denmark and Norway in the year 958. The king was also called Bluetooth because he was famous for having a dead blue tooth. The Bluetooth symbol design also consists of the ancient Norse symbols for King Harald Bluetooth's initials. The name was meant to be temporary until the marketing department could come up with something better. Originally, they wanted to call it PAN, for Personal Area Networking. However, that name had been acquired for some other devices. Time ran out, and they had to make the technology public. It doesn't matter what the other names might have been, as the name Bluetooth caught on fast.
Vocabulary Review.
Device. This device cuts up vegetables faster than a person can do it with a knife. Unite. The terrible disease united people around the world to search for a cure. Project. Kara's project aims to raise awareness of garbage in the city's rivers. Temporary. Fiona wants a temporary job just for the summer vacation. She'll have to quit when she goes back to school. Originally. The boss originally told me I'd be working during the day, but now I usually work at night. Acquire. Nicole acquired the nickname Little Rabbit because her 2 front teeth are so big.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，
活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net